your personal opinion, what show is better, Martin or Fresh Prince?
Well, obviously, I picked Fresh Prince because I was writing on it and I was a part of it. Is a lot of it was my work, but just so people know too, so it's very clear. Because there's a lot of people don't know this. I get this question on golf courses. So you're the one that wrote the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? No, I'm not by myself. Every TV show you have ever seen in the history of TV, there is a team of writers. It's usually like 8 to 9 writers. So I was never by myself. It'd be like, Michael Jordan can't say he won by himself. No, he played in a team sport. Kobe, rest in peace, played in a team sport. You know what I mean? This ain't golf. You don't do it by yourself. You know what I mean? So there was some incredible writers, and I learned from all of them. You know what I mean? But when it comes down to that question, obviously, Fresh Prince, because I was closer to Will. I was around him every day, and I wrote for him. So, but I loved Martin to death. One of the funniest dudes. It's just kind of like if you ask me a hip hop question. Who do you think was better, Biggie or Pac? Okay, I was a West Coast dude, so obviously, Pac was more near and dear to me, but I loved Biggie also. Biggie was incredible. Biggie goes down as one of the greatest rappers, spitters of all time, creativity, everything. It's a preference thing. You get what I'm saying? So Martin was funny as hell. Martin, there's no way around it, but just to say, Martin was a real funny nigga. And whereas Will, way more universal. Way more white people liked Will than Martin. It's not a bad thing. It's just, it is what it is. When we got our ratings, every week, we would usually get our ratings every Tuesday, right? So you would see why Will's ratings were so huge. And I'm just being real. I'm just being honest. So people don't think I'm talking out the side of my neck. I was there, right? You would see how Martin had the super high ratings in all the black cities. It is what it is. That's like, we love Charlie Wilson. White people like Elvis. You get what I'm saying? There's certain, there's culture differences, right? So when you looked at Martin's ratings, incredible numbers in all the black cities because he was a real nigga, right? Will had high ratings places you wouldn't even think black people exist. Remember, it was NBC, there was Fox. NBC is as big as it got, meaning we're getting numbers in Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island. There's black people that live in Wyoming. There's black people that live in South Dakota. No, that was white people watching. In other words, our show was much more universal, whereas Martin was geared towards the black people. But ain't nothing wrong with that because guess what? That's what Def Comedy Jam was for us, right? That was black comedians. Those of us that weren't able to get on the white shows. So I never knock how our culture got us to where I was or where we all are. I was just answering your question from somebody that was there. You get what I'm saying? It's a difference. Some guys are universal. Some guys are local. Some people the whole world likes. Some people just black people like. Just like if you take Seinfeld. I happen to be a black dude that liked him, right? Because I had that ear for white humor also. But the average Negro in America wasn't watching. If you ask him, would you like Seinfeld or Martin better? Like Seinfeld. But then ask the average lily white guy. He'd be like, I heard of Martin, but he didn't watch Martin the way he watched Frasier in Tool Time, Home Improvement. Just different cultures. That's all. It's not a bad thing. It is what it is. You know what I mean?